What's up, man? It's your boy, Vance Michel, reporting on God for the funny papers. Repping Comedy Gang as always, man. Shout out to all my peoples that's watching the news right now. But we ain't even trying to get into that. Let's get into the news stories right now because we got fresh comedy stories right now. But yo, sound team, man, kick that funky music. All right. You know, Comedy Central is celebrating Black History Month this month by unveiling a 9-part documentary series called Dark Humor. Now, the docu-series details the influence, experience, and perspective of comedians such as Donnell Rollins, Roy Rhodes Jr., Lunel, Miss Pat, Sinbad, Earthquake, and many more. So please look out for this 9-part series called Dark Humor, which helps celebrate Black history because it details, Black comedians. It looks like it follows their lives, and we need more of that because it shows how they're dealing with the new PC culture, on how, PC culture is dealing with comedy, and being Black in the entertainment world is something else. So you see their perspective through that in that 9-part documentary series called Dark Humor. Look out for that. It's going to be on Comedy Central. Another thing to look out for is the Batman Audio Adventures. I'm telling you to look out for the Batman Audio Adventures, which will be out in HBO Max. I'm telling you this. Why? The Funny Papers is telling you why, because it's going to be a comedy, man. There's going to be a comedy about the bats, the jokes, the cats, the Robin, all of that on HBO Max. And it's going to be featured some comedians like Ted Meadows, Jason Sudeikis, Fred Armisen, a couple of heads from SNL. A lot of motherfuckers going to be on this show. So check out for the Batman Audio Adventures. Oh, and Jeffrey White is going to voice the Batman, the main character, Batman. So please look out for that. In other good news, Mr. Tracy Morgan volunteered at a pop-up food drive at PS 57 on Staten Island, and this was organized by the Food Bank of New York City. Now, this food drive actually raised enough food to feed 500 hungry families in New York City. So, good job, Mr. Tracy Morgan, on that, man. We appreciate your help out there, man. You doing good. That's a good service to others, man. In other comedy news, remember that show Frasier? Frasier was a spinoff of Cheers, and that show was about a bar. And damn, man, don't we miss the bars, because there's a couple times where I threw up in the bars. I'll pass out in the bars, and I'll give nothing. I'll give everything up just to go back to a night with just me laying in my own throw up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's real right now. Like I miss the days of me waking up in my own throw up, cause that's where it's at right now. But check it out. Remember that show Frasier? Anyway, spin-off, having flashbacks. It spin off Cheers, right? And Frasier, he was a psychologist. He used to go to the bar, but now they actually thought that this motherfucker was so interesting to make a show off. And that show actually lasted 11 seasons. The shit lasted so long that he ended up getting $1.6 million per episode by the last season. Now, that was like a while back. Now Frasier might get rebooted by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus has its eyes on rebooting Frasier, and Kelsey Grammer is like, cool, man, let's go with the Frasier reboot, but I still want my $1.6 million per episode. That's what's holding this Frasier reboot up, because Kelsey Grammer still wants his $1.6 million per episode. The last motherfucker I thought was getting $1 million per episode was what is that dude's name? The motherfucker the Charlie Sheen guy. You know what I'm saying? He did the Charlie Harper for the 2.5 Men. He was getting like 1.8 million per episode. And then there was Ray Romano, who was getting about $1.8 million Two, she, and then but Charlie Sheen. But then I'm thinking like, yo, Kelsey Grammer, you wilding out. This is the day of the internet. This is the age of the internet. The TV commercial, TV networks, they don't get money like that. How are you gonna ask for $1.6 million? But guess what? As of today, there's a show called The Morning Show, and the actress is Jennifer Aniston. Y'all know Jennifer Aniston, yeah, because she was getting $1 million per episode on Friends. And then after that, you got Reese Witherspoon, who was at one point the highest paid actress in Hollywood. So you got two bitches that know the game. Two ladies, two women, two business women that know how to handle they motherfucking negotiating game. And guess what? These two ladies happen to get what? $2 million per episode on a show called The Morning Show, and that shit's on Apple TV Plus. So for right now, Kelsey Grammer's like, yo, I want that $1.6 million. Yo, give it to him, B. I'll give him that money. Give him that $1.6 million, man. I think Kelsey Grammer. If those two girls can get, I mean, they Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon don't sleep. They got skill. So Kelsey Grammer won Philly, he got 1.6. So that's the reason why we don't see this phaser, because Kelsey still want that 1.6. I feel you, Kelsey. Go ahead and go get that bread. Go get that money. Speaking of, in other comedy news, we got the Golden Globes coming up real soon. And last year, Ricky Gervais fucking blew up the scene, like made bombs up in that bitch, yo. Like I don't know, any Hollywood actor like everybody was a saint. Like Ricky Gervais was spitting razor sharp last year, and then this year you thinking they was gonna bring him back? Nah, hell no, they wasn't gonna bring him back. He was blowing the lid off Hollywood. Y'all gotta go check this Golden Globe, Oscar. The Ricky Gervais hosting the Golden Globes last year. Go check that shit out. It was actually the most one of the most watched Golden Globes ever. Like it was serious. Go watch that shit. If anything, if you caught anything from this Funny Papers, remember, just go watch Ricky Gervais hosting the Golden Globes Awards. Now that shit was lit. Now, anyway, they didn't get Ricky Gervais. They got Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, and Tina Fey is going to be hosting the Golden Globes from the Beverly Hills spot where they usually host the Golden Globes, and then Amy Poehler is going to be in New York City. So I'm not looking forward to the Golden Globes actually this year, because last year was the shit. You know, Ricky Gervais blew the lid off that bitch. But we ain't doing the blowing the lid off anyway. Anyway, in local news, I would say like, hey, go to this show right here, or can't wait to see this performer do this, or I'll even have my top 5 comedians. You know what I mean? Because I'll go watch a scene and I'll be like, yo, these are my top 5 comedians in the scene right now in Montreal. But ain't no comedy. There's no comedy. This shit's been shut down for a long motherfucking time. But it's all good. Everybody's doing other things. People are writing all over their Twitters, which is fine. People are doing little videos on YouTube. People are popping up all over the place with podcasts. Like, if you're looking for a podcast to listen to, why don't you listen to the 34 podcast, which is Sundays at 9 p.m. at 8:30 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And then if you're looking for another podcast to listen to, why don't you listen to the Rapid Flames podcast? That's right, the Rapid Flames podcast featuring me, Vance Michel, and my other co-host, another comedian. I call him P. Bowens. But enough about that. Let's talk more 34. But actually, I can't even say too much about the 34. But I do have a member of the 34 podcast on this show right now. So we talk a little bit of comedy, and I got some few questions. I hope he can answer. I got my man. I got comedian Claudio Capri, waiting to be interviewed by your boy Vance Michel from the Funny Papers. And this guy hosts shows like Offbeat Comedy at the I forgot the bar, because it's been a long time. You feel me? But this guy's been was hosting a 34 open mic. He got the 34 podcast. He got a podcast called 3 Men and a Podcast. This guy's got all types of things. I can't remember them right off the bat, but I'll make sure he'll tell you. Guys, let me introduce my guest right now, Mr. Claudio Capri.
Hey guys, hey Vance, how y'all doing?
How you doing, Claudia? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling good, energetic.
Thanks for having me.
That music we just played, that shit just had me hype.
Nice. Thanks for having me here, by the way.
No problem, man. It was good to see you, man. It's good to have you. By the way, I was on your 34 podcast last week. Pretty fun. Hectic.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I remember Victoria told me to leave my brain at the door, so I made sure I did that. And then next thing you know, I was ready to go on the podcast for like 3-4 hours, man. So
yeah.
It was pretty great.
It was good. It was long. It was good because at one point, you were getting upset at the end. Like I don't know if you were playing or if you're actually true, but you said turn it off. I'm like, oh fuck, what do I do? So I just went stress first. I'm like, oh fuck, but then you're like, oh, you didn't have to turn it off. I'm like, fuck.
Nah. You didn't have to turn it off, man. I was just acting. I was getting too passionate.
Sorry about that.
It was all right, man. And plus, I think when you did log it off, though, we did have to go, though. I was like, when you did log it off, I was like, all the gas, when all the gas just leaves you, and then that's what happened. I was just like, and then I was got tired. Yeah, that was a good time to end it. I didn't even know. Sometimes
I'm glad you had a good
time.
Sometimes
my body got to catch up to my mouth. Sometimes, like it takes too late. Right now, my brain is going too fast. Anyway, Claudio, it's great to have you on the show. Earlier, I was talking about sitcoms. You're bringing back Frasier and all this shit. And I'm saying, what is your favorite sitcom growing up?
I have a bunch of them. So one of them is Seinfeld. Seinfeld was my.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
It was no.
And then Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's another good one.
Okay.
Then Everybody Loves Raymond, and then Everybody Hates Chris. I love that. Oh man, I love Everybody Hates Chris because I'm like Terry Crews. I just put Terry Crews in there. I'm like,
Terry Crews. Yeah. He makes a good father. He makes a weird father of he makes a good like a sitcom father figure kind of.
Exactly, and that's it, man. That's all the sitcoms. I watch. Yeah.
So it was mine was Martin, and so why'd you like Seinfeld though?
I just love Seinfeld because as they say, it's a show about nothing. So I'm like, I just like just 4 idiots, just around a coffee shop talking about nonsense. So that's why.
It really was a show about nothing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
It was like I couldn't understand it while watching it. But as I'm living in life, I'm like, yo, this show was about nothing, yo. Like, it's just like it had no point. There was no story. There was no a romantic like How I Met Your Mother. There was always like a climax or something like that. Like you never know what the climax was. The only dramatic thing I think that ever happened on the show was like when Susan died.
Yeah.
But then even that, they didn't continue from it. No. George just he didn't even get money, I think. Like
no, I don't think so.
They even played him. They said that he would have been rich. But now because he didn't get married to her, they ain't even get married. So
man, George really got screwed in the end.
Yo, George really got screwed. But that's the thing. It was so about nothing that's what made it so funny, yo. And I always thought that something was gonna gradually, like I never knew what the hell was going on, even up until the show ended. And then I had to rewatch it when I was growing up to finally understand. Did that happen to you? Like when you was watching Seinfeld, did you understand it when you first watched it? Like you had to kind of watch it to like
exactly. I had to watch it after. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But then I'm like, oh, now I understand what they're doing. Okay, so it's about nothing.
especially the contest. The contest.
Exactly.
Was
Yeah.
I didn't know what the contest was about. And then I'm
Me
like,
neither.
oh, yo, yeah, I would have been Kramer, yo. I'm out.
Same.
Kramer was going for quick. He was like, yo, he went in, went out, boom. That would have been me, yo, for real. I would have been like Kramer, in and out, bam, son. Now, they say I see you, Claudio. You when you they say there's a rumor saying that you work in a movie theater.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I obviously temporarily laid off due to what's going on. But yeah, now
Right.
I work in a movie theater.
Okay. Now I know that you do a little extra roles and stuff like that.
That's right.
And you host movie trivia night.
That's right, with Victoria Blair. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you know a lot of movie and not movie knowledge and stuff like that. What drew you to the world of cinema, my man?
Well, actually, this is gonna be kind of funny because I growing up with watching sitcoms, and obviously there was one show by Joss Whedon that I loved. It was Firefly. So I'm like, you know what? If this guy could do it, then so can I. So then I got into the movie world. Watching a lot of action movies, watching a lot, because I grew up with superheroes like Batman, Blade, everything Marvel, DC. So I'm like, you know what? I want to try doing this, So then I got into the movie world and I met people. And then years later, I've been doing some extra work, some short film work, and now hopefully, keep trying to get roles, and just like going on movie sets and just watching the magic happen.
Yeah, man. So you made a couple of movies.
Yeah, exactly.
You saw Firefly and you was like, "Oh, forget it." I like this. Firefly is a Joss Whedon. Did he make this before Buffy?
He made it after Buffy. So Buffy, he finished that around 2000 to 2001. Then during that time, there's a show Angel that finished around 2003. But then he came out with Firefly, but it only lasted one season.
And that was on WB too. Was that on CW?
I don't remember where it was on because I saw the reruns. I saw them on Space or Sci-Fi. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right, but yeah, Joss Whedon, he did. So now, cool. Okay, so now you got your own little movies out there. I remember Victoria telling me that you got these little shorts on YouTube.
Yes. So I played a goon in a film called Night Shift with Massimo and Guido, which is winning a bunch of awards. I played a goon on there. And then before that, I was in a feature film. It was filmed in Montreal called Mafia Inc. Again, I was a goon. And then from there, now we're from the world of Night Shift. We're planning. Well, there's gonna be a sequel in the works called Churchill.
Oh wow,
that's already written. We're just waiting till all this crap is opened up, and then and then maybe in the works. I'm just shooting off the air bit, but like I would like to with them to write a sequel to Night Shift. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see where it goes, where it plays out. So from there,
that sounds good, man.
Thank you.
That sounds good. It sounds like you got a lot of roles in the works for you, man. And hopefully they get that sequel to Night Shift out. I heard Night Shift I saw Night Shift was doing okay in a festival.
Yeah,
in the festival, like it won an award. And I didn't know you was in that movie, man. So that's hats off to you.
Thank you.
And I just did Spiderhood, like a sketch.
That was hilariously awesome, man. I'm like,
yeah. So I got the sequel written out, and I got a role for you too, man.
Thank you. Oh yes, yes. I actually love playing goons. I don't know. This is something. It's something great about them. I don't know why. I just love them. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's the goal. So you know what I mean. You might as well do it, yo. I mean, I had fun. You know what? Though, like I was speaking of acting. It's a different world. Like
absolutely,
it's really a different world. And it's a different just like comedy, how you gotta know the craft behind, because you can't just jump. You can have all the talent in the world, but you got to know the craft. You got to know the skill. You got to know what the ABCs of the game is.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and then after doing that, after being in a lot of extra roles, like I have respect for actors now because I'll be like, man, you got to have patience between takes and stuff like that, and to really act out that scene, to capture the moment, to be that feeling. It's something else. You got to train yourself.
Yeah.
And then I remember I always used to hear actors who cry on cue. I'll be like, man, that's something, I never think twice about what it takes to do that.
Yeah, how amazed were you on the set of Billie Holiday?
Huh?
Because you were an extra in Billie Holiday.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, exactly.
You too. How amazed were you on that set? That was like, I'm sure, like you must have been like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, man, that was great.
At first, I didn't know who I was working with, and then every time when I keep hearing who I'm I'm like, whoa, I was with this guy, son. I was with fucking I didn't realize I was with I knew at the time I was shooting the guy who made Empire, right? And Lee Daniels. But then up until last week, I fucking found out that this is the guy that did Monsters Ball.
Yep.
It's the guy who did the movie with Halle Berry, won the fucking Oscar and shit. I was the extra in this guy's movie, son. Now I'm like, whoa. Before I was like, whoa, but now I was like, now I'm thinking about it like, whoa, that's why I was there, son. I was there.
Man, honestly,
that was pretty good. That was dope.
I had the most fun on that set too. Oh man.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was amazing. I mean, the ladies they got on that set, and then I mean, it felt like a party. Like the whole day just felt like a party. I guess when there was one place, because I mean, the only thing I hated about that shit was one day when it was cold as hell, and so cold that they had to put the thermal in your pants and in your jacket.
Yeah. Oh man.
Walk by.
Yo, I was outside though, because after the scene where everybody, while someone was gonna get arrested, and I'm like, we're outside for like 5 hours, and I'm like, ah, fuck, I'm cold, I'm shivering because I was holding those plastic shotguns. I'm like, oh man, I'm shivering. Jesus. But then at the end, like, okay, you're gonna have to open the door. I'm like, because it was so cold, I just pushed the door. I'm like, fuck this, I'm just going in. It was fun, man.
Yo, wait. I don't think I seen you on one.
No. We're on different.
We're all on one day, different days, huh?
Yeah.
But and then speaking of Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Did you happen to see him too on set?
No. I didn't see anyone. I didn't see anyone famous. It was just a scene where we're just.
I did a scene with this dude. I did a scene with and it took me a while too to see if it was him. I was like, yo, and I'm like, yo, ain't that Everybody Hates Chris, son? And I was like, yo, because he's in the movie. He plays he's a supporting actor. And I'm like, yo, ain't that Everybody Hates Chris, son? And I'm like, yo, wait, hold up, we Googling. I'm Googling because I'm Googling this shit to see if that's him. I'm like, yeah, that's him, son. Oh shit. Son's right here, son. Yo. But you act all giddy. You can't talk to the actors and shit like that.
Yeah, unless they talk to you.
Yeah, because I did try. I ran up on him. I didn't run up on him, but I happened to be walking by him. He was in the. It's not like I stalked him. I was going towards my lunch, and then he was walking to the thing. I was like, oh man, Mr. Damn, I forgot his name already. Chris Robinson, James. But I'm that, and I was like, "Hey, man, nice to meet you." I was like, "I'm at work, man. All right, man. I'm out. That's it." So let me ask you, Claudio. As you see, I'm enamored in the acting. You're enamored, but why did you become an actor? Like,
Well, because I'm like, it's something I want to try, something that I want to do, and besides people telling me, hey, you're a clown, I'm like, like I want to embrace the emotional side. I want to embrace the side that that I want to challenge myself to it. So I'm like, why not? Why not? And then the opportunities came and I took them. And then everybody was talking to like, hey, you'd be good as a guy in a mob movie who would get shot. I'm like, nah, I could start off with that. So I just want to embrace something that's challenging for me. I want to get into that world. I want to get into the mind of a character because I just love portraying something that could be fictional or could be on a true event, and see how I could take it.
Okay. So you want to portray something, but without being funny, but you could still do it. Like
Exactly.
what's your dream kind of movie to do? With not a comedy, like a drama thriller.
Honestly, this is gonna be completely different and random. I like if when the Fantastic Four would be remade, I like to play the Thing.
Okay.
You see, I'm like, but if I would do a mob movie, I would definitely work with Antoine Fuqua, Ridley Scott, or Martin Scorsese. If I had a choice to do a mob movie.
If you do a mob movie, you do Martin Scorsese in them.
Yeah, Antoine Fuqua. You know what? Also, even Spike Lee, because Spike Lee has some good films too.
Spike Lee has movies, some good. Like who did American Gangster though? Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott, yeah.
That's Gladiator, right?
Yeah. Ridley Scott. It would have been in my choice. It would have been better if Martin Scorsese did, but Ridley Scott still did a good job.
He did a great. I don't know if he did a great job or just Denzel acted his ass off as Frank.
Yeah. Nah, you can't go wrong with
anybody could direct.
Yeah.
And Denzel. I couldn't sleep on Denzel's skills. I used to sleep on Denzel's skill, but then I'd be like, damn. I was watching Equalizer 2 the other day. I was like, this plot sucks.
Yeah, but Denzel made it. Yeah. Exactly. Denzel could be in a crappy movie, but you're gonna walk out there and go, this guy is a good actor.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Wesley Snipes. I'm like, all right.
Hey,
man, he's always gonna be Blade to me, man. I love
Snipes. But Wesley Snipes. Wait. He was playing in Dolomite. Did you see the movie Dolomite?
Of course, yes.
I knew Dolomite with
Eddie Murphy and Kubu.
Give it up for Wesley for his little.
Oh man, I love it.
Little comedic things in there. Hold on. Wait a second. Is this news? I forgot. No, I didn't forget this. All right. No, I was thinking about. All right. Before I leave you go, what do you think about? Actually, wait a second. What do you think about Kelsey Grammer still wanting $1.6 million per episode?
You know what? Because he was also helping doing Frasier, and he was also I believe was an executive producer. So him coming back and asking for that money, you know what? He's a skilled actor, so I'd say give it to him.
You say give it to him, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You said I want to give it to him, yeah. Because I'm like, I didn't know. I'm thinking the days of getting $1 million per episode are done. I'm thinking that was done. Like Charlie Sheen was the last little one, but then I looked it up and I seen that Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon they getting $2 million an episode.
Did you watch the morning show that they're doing?
I haven't seen the morning show. I haven't even seen the episode. Exactly. I could tell. As Jennifer, it says drama, but it's not comedy. But give it up to those last three guys though. They were the top three men. Well, the top three, paid was like Romano, Shane, and Kelsey Grammer. And all three of them shits was comedy, yo. So you know what I'm saying? Give it up to them motherfuckers.
Exactly.
All right, before we go, do you got anything? I'm glad to have you on my show. You know,
thank you. And I always say this. It's a small. Podcasting is a big community. Let's all stick together. We're we're in Montreal, so let's all help each other out as best as we can. We
gotta help each other. We gotta help each other out, man. Can't help each other down. What are we doing? Doing?
Exactly.
We can't look up if we all stepping on each other's eyes.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, yo, Claudio, you be doing Zoom shows?
I did a few open mic Zoom shows, like not recently, but I've been doing them from time to time.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll get at you or something. All right. Is there anything you want to plug or anything
Uh,
you wanna talk about before we
yeah,
go?
no, just tonight there's Victoria and Claudio's movie night. We're talking about Ava DuVernay, and Sunday is 8:30 p.m. and then 3 Men in a Podcast, and 2 Wednesdays from now, episode 2.
Yes, this is Mr. Claudio. Claudio got a lot of things popping, man, for real, huh? All right, man. You guys keep a lookout for Mr. 34, Mr. Claudio Capri, and take care, man.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. Take care. Peace.
Peace. Bye-bye.
All right, man. That was Mr. Claudio Capri talking 34 business, man. Now, before I go, I just want to say this. Pace Magazine just said something about the COVID. I'm going to read it off here. It actually says performing in days after COVID exposure is actually dangerous, man. Because they were saying how Joe Rogan it's actually a health risk right now. Because last week, Joe Rogan, the Austin-based podcaster and friend of Elon Musk, was exposed to COVID-19. And this week he appeared on an unmasked indoor comedy show, apparently ignoring CDC quarantine guidelines. Now, the timeline here is very straightforward. Rogan and Chappelle had a show at Stubbs Austin, a venue that does not require masks when audiences are seated. And the comics were photographed hanging out backstage with other unmasked people. Let me keep going down. Now, Chappelle and his team have been conducting daily COVID-19 tests throughout the pandemic, but audiences at the Stubbs residencies receive rapid antigen tests upon entry. But Rogan, who's been providing rapid testing for his podcast guests since April, 2 days after Chappelle's diagnostic. Now, this thing is that the insurance isn't worth very much because rapid tests trade accuracy for speed, and they're approved for use when someone has COVID-19 symptoms. So using them to screen asymptomatic people who want to gather at a club is not necessarily going to prevent an infected person from slipping through. Now, recently Chappelle just got COVID and Joe Rogan's been exposed to COVID. And right now, the Pace is basically saying that right now it's a dangerous time to perform comedy in this pandemic time. And right now, I'm going to actually kind of like agree with it. But like, if you're going to it is dangerous. But it's dangerous, but you got to be safe. You got to know what's going on. If you know that you're going to be in a place where there's COVID, then wear your mask. Be sanitized. But a lot of people feel like it's still dangerous to still do the art of comedy in these times. And I guess to say, man, I don't know what to really say. That's what my opinion is right now, because this is my opinion section. And my opinion is, I really don't know. I just want this goddamn virus to go away, and I just want to perform. I want to be behind the mic. I want to stand up. So I feel what Chappelle and Joe Rogan is. It's like, if you're a comedian right now, like, you don't really care about like being unsafe, like being safe. Man, what am I saying? What I want to say is this: be safe, people, and think what the fuck you want to think. And that's all you put. And I'm Vance Michel, reporting on God, rapping comedy gang for the funny papers. I'm out.